Good evening, everyone, and thanks for checking out Pure Delusion. We got the normal cast here. I'm Tamir.
I'm Clayton.
I'm Tom.
And we're going to talk about episode 3 of Game of Thrones, season 7, part 1. What was the
The Queen's Justice.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Which queen, though?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, the Queen's Justice, well, that was the title. Let's start with the theme here. Tom, what did you think was the theme?
Said it right there. It's all about the Queen's justice. But the question is, which queen?
Which queen? Yeah.
I think it was more, payback, retribution.
Mm-hmm.
For Cersei, it was about, literal payback, torturing the sand snakes.
Mm-hmm.
For Daenerys, it was kind of hard for me to figure out what was her justice or her payback. I would say maybe she's going to give Jon Snow the dragon glass as payback for maybe what her father did to the Starks.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of interesting because I think the whole Queen's justice thing, it kind of shows a paradigm, like the difference between Cersei and Daenerys. Like, Cersei's version of justice is just flat out cold-hearted revenge.
Yeah. She doesn't care about the people.
Exactly.
Whoever dies, she had those dragons. Do you think Cersei would even hesitate to kill innocent? No.
But I mean, then again, like you look at Daenerys, and you kind of said it right there. I mean, she's essentially giving Jon Snow the dragon glass. I mean, partially to gain his trust as an ally, but also, as a way of kind of making up for the sins of her father, which that was another thing that we heard about in the episode too.
Did you have anything more to add on the theme?
No, not really. I mean, you guys kind of touched on everything. It's like you said, who really got justice?
And that scene where he's giving Jon Snow the dragon glass, like, I really was wondering, like, well, what is she going to get out of this whole, like, this transaction, because that's really what it is, what is she going to get out of this?
You smart, you loyal, you're grateful. I appreciate that. Go buy your mama a house.
Like, how are the Starks going to help the Targaryens, like, since they're so far away, like, are they going to help them take King's Landing or what? Like, I'm confused.
Well, I think, just looking at what all is happening to, Daenerys' plan right now, like, it's all falling apart. So she needs more allies. I mean, the Sand Snakes and Yara and Theon got messed up last episode. We saw, they got tricked into going after Casterly Rock. They weren't, the Lannisters weren't even there.
Yep.
So, and Euron again kind of destroyed all the ships that they had sent with Grey Worm. So, I mean, she really does need to create trust with somebody because her current plan isn't really working out too well for her.
Yeah, well, let's just talk about our favorite scenes. What was your favorite scene, Tamir?
It was definitely the scene with the old lady. Looked like she was a Sith Lord.
Olenna, that's her name?
Yeah, the Sith Lord lady.
The Tyrells?
Yeah, the Tyrell Sith Lord, and she was talking to
Jamie
Lannister. That was the scene. That was it.
Yeah. What about you, Tom?
I mean, that's got to be it for me, too. R.I.P. to the Queen of Sass, Olenna, you're my girl.
Well, we didn't see her die.
Come on.
I mean,
she's done.
So in my mind, if you don't see him die, they could still very well come back.
Yeah,
we seen Jon Snow die, and he wasn't dead.
But she's not a crucial plot.
Yeah,
and she's not a crucial character.
At the end of the episode when the creators talk about it, they pretty much talked as if she was dead, not coming back. So
yeah, she's done. Unfortunately, I'm really gonna miss her because I feel like for dialogue purposes, Olenna was probably one of the better characters in the show.
She was an excellent actress. So I guess to go a different scene, since that really was a great scene. I really liked the back and forth between in that opening scene, I guess, between Jon Snow and Daenerys and Davos. So I love Davos. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. So I like he got a little bit of screen time tonight.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was a pretty cool scene. That was very powerful. Now, I don't know if it's the Irish accent or what it is, but it definitely believed everything he was saying. I kind of fell into his character a lot. Immersion was high right there.
Yeah, so let's talk about Littlefinger. We got a little bit of some Littlefinger knowledge.
Before we move on, because this is all kind of tied in, this is kind of where I was most active when I was taking this, watching this show. So what was up with the lady in red?
Yeah.
And
Miss Melisandre.
And
Varys.
Varys. That's the guy that doesn't have testicles or vagina.
He's
He's a eunuch.
Eunuch. There we go. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, like I thought that was very interesting. That scene.
Oh yeah. So I took some notes on that, and it was very confusing. Let me see. She said some things like, "We're both gonna die on this continent," or something like that. Like we're gonna die on this land.
Westeros,
I think she said in Westeros.
Yeah.
And she kept calling him the snake, and or was it the spider?
Yeah, the spider.
The spider. Yeah.
I mean that's Varys's.
Okay.
You know, that's like his code
His
name.
tag or whatever.
So it was really cryptic. I felt like it was foreshadowing something. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I mean, obviously at this point they're further along than the actual books are. So I don't really think.
I was super like, what the heck? What is going on?
I feel like there was a lot of that in this episode, though. I mean, I feel like the conversation with Littlefinger and Sansa was kind of the same way. Like I was kind of like, what is he talking about? You know, like it's kind of one of those things. Like it's interesting. Like I think we're gonna eventually circle back and like remember these moments and be like, oh, okay. But I thought it was really interesting. I don't really know what she.
Yeah, the quote was, "I have to die in this strange country just like you," and it seemed like Varys really didn't trust her. Yeah, and he was kind of like pushing her away, like you need to go.
The only thing I can think of is because if you remember, Varys is also from across the narrow sea. He's not from. He wasn't born in Westeros, so that's the only thing that I can think of is she's kind of like appealing to the fact that they're both foreigners in a strange land, so to speak.
So then the Littlefinger scene, he was telling Sansa, "Don't trust anyone, and you need to fight a battle in your mind, fight every battle against everything."
I think I'm the only person that wasn't shocked by this.
Well, I think basically he's setting it up to where he wants her to butt heads with Jon Snow. I think he's trying to plant the seeds.
Yeah, this is what he does. He's the mind game master. So whatever it's going to do, she's going to do it. And like it's her brother Bran, he already sees it all coming.
Yeah, because to me that was like, just don't trust anybody, you know?
What I'm interested in, because, and let's talk about Bran. So you have the ability to go back in time. You can see everything. And
it's the past and the future, correct?
Yeah, and we've also seen where he can actually affect something in the past.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is how many times has he ran this simulation where he changes this, or he changes this, or he changes this, and the result is the same or not to his liking?
Yeah, it's just he's so powerful, yet he gets very little screen time.
Well, anytime you're dealing with time travel, though, you can't.
And I mean,
because that's the answer to everything. If we literally go to Bran and give him an episode, you're going to know everything.
Right. So I really liked that scene. It was cool. It was just...
It's kind of creepy.
It was creepy. Yeah, it was very... You could tell Sansa was very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, of course. He knows. She knows that he saw her get raped.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, I understand.
The whole thing with Bran, it's like, it really is like a mind fuck, you know? It's just it's hard for me to wrap my head around some of that shit.
He's the answer to everything. He knows. He knows everything. And that's why I think he's just so chill, because he...
So in the end, like, what do you think he knows? Like, what do you think?
I said it in episode 1. He sees Sansa is going to betray Jon Snow.
Oh, wow.
She is going...
So I claim he would let that happen?
I think he wants to change it, but he has not found a solution.
Okay.
This is my personal opinion, because I think she wins Game of Thrones.
And another question I have is, when do we figure out, or when is Jon and Daenerys going to figure out that they're related?
I think, once Bran gets to talk to Jon,
that's right, because he's like, I want to talk to Jon.
I mean, obviously he knows, because he saw that in that vision that he had, whatever you want to call it.
So let's explain it. So how are they? Are they cousins? Is that what it is?
I believe that's it.
So... Well, technically, she's his aunt, because her brother is Jon's actual dad.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Because, if you remember, Rhaegar, that's her brother, eloped with Ned's sister, Lyanna.
Okay.
And they are Jon's parents. So, technically, she is his aunt.
Okay. So...
Not that that's going to stop anything.
Years before.
The preview we got for next episode, they're going to start getting a little bit, friendlier with each other. Because, there was definitely an impasse there.
Oh, yeah.
That's to be
expected. It wasn't too bad. And the whole fire and ice thing, what is that legacy? We didn't touch on that.
I thought that was really cool how they tied that into the show, actually. I really liked that particular line. I mean, the book series is called a Song of Ice and Fire. And, you know, people, as you read the books and watch the show, there's, you know, it's not that hard to come to this conclusion, but, you know, the whole conclusion was going to be, you know, you have Daenerys, you have Jon. They're obviously two very pivotal characters of the series. They're eventually going to come together, and they're going to have to fight this giant battle, which I think ultimately is going to be the Night King. I think it's pretty obvious at some point he is going to get past the wall, and that's going to be a whole problem that they're going to have to deal with. And I honestly think that that'll probably happen after, my prediction is after Cersei inevitably falls.
Yeah, I think I guess our last topic here is, let's talk about maybe a disappointing scene. I was a little disappointed. So, you know, where was the Tyrell army? They kind of implied that there was a battle. We didn't get to see any of it. I'm a little disappointed about how fast these people travel. You know, Jon Snow somehow made it from Winterfell to Dragonstone in one episode, and we didn't see how that happened.
Well,
we didn't really see how. I mean, we looked at the map before we started this, but that was just the time frame, and it's just very strange to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta think too. Like, how many episodes of the series do we have left?
Yeah, they're trying to. You know, they gotta.
They have to fit a lot of this stuff in.
Yeah, and I wish I would have
episode.
seen a little bit more battle from when you know, they stormed Casterly Rock. I thought that would. I mean, I liked what we saw. I just wanted to see more of it. You know.
Yeah. What did everybody think about Tyrion's playing with the hoe door? Get it? The hoe door, because he was probably in there.
That was really. I thought at first, I was like, "What a dumbass plan," and then he's like, he explains it like, "Oh, well, there is a secret entrance."
Yeah.
So that I really was like, "Oh, that's smart."
No, they set that scene up well by showing them all kind of dying in their fate, and you're like, "Oh wow, this is terrible." Like, where are the dragons? I guess if I had to have a disappointing scene, I guess I felt when Jon Snow and Daenerys were finally alone, and they didn't have all their shepherds around, and they got to kind of just talk. It was just kind of straight to the point. Let's talk about Dragon Glass. And you believe me, don't you? You better get started. It was just kind of like...
Jon Snow's dialogue, I feel like, is
it was
a little
just
not great.
But, I mean, you also have to think, like, that's what makes Jon who he is. Like, he's very blunt to the point. Like,
But Jon
he's
Snow,
not
he's
one of these guys that...
smooth.
Yeah, but he's not one of these people. He didn't grow up in, like,
He
the
went
whole
over
politics
the
of
wall and talked himself into a wildling. Like, this dude is smooth.
But see,
especially with women.
But see, that's the thing. Like, Jon is very... People gravitate to Jon because he's very direct and very blunt. Yeah. He doesn't play... Like, and, you know, Daenerys is very much about the formalities, obviously.
Yes.
You know, she was upset that he didn't call her queen.
Yeah.
You know, like, Jon's not about the formalities. He didn't... That's not how he
was
grew up.
raised.
That's not how he learned how to lead. Mm-hmm. So it's very interesting to see that contrast. But, I mean, that's just kind of who he is. Like, he's not a bullshitter. He's just going to come back
I agree.
Exactly
I agree. I guess I just wanted more. It's just like... I've been waiting. You know, we knew this was going to happen. Here it is. Now they're finally alone, and that was it. It was just like, and I know there's going to be more, but for me, that was the only thing I felt disappointed in. Like most disappointed, that was it. I wanted more of that. I didn't have anything. Everything else I loved. I just wanted more of those two talking.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything disappointing?
Hard to say. I mean,
it was a really good episode. Like I said, that was.
I mean, we can grade the.
I would say honestly, the whole storming Casterly Rock thing was a little disappointing because for as much as they hyped up the whole like going to Dorne thing last episode, that was such a pivotal part at the end of the episode. You know, this was supposed to be their other big military push, and it was like it felt like really short, and it wasn't as it just wasn't as big of a deal as like last time when they were out on the ocean fighting Euron and all that. So it just didn't feel quite as good.
And it was nice. I mean, it was shocking, and I was obviously disappointed that the Lannisters have set they're really good military minds. They obviously have the upper hand now. And like that was disappointing for me, but I loved how we took a twist that we really didn't see coming.
Like this is where I feel like I know we got to worry about time, but it's like it just seems like Daenerys is playing checkers and the Lannisters are playing chess. Like this war shit, like you could see like this is what they do. Like you hear about Jaime Lannister and you think maybe like he's kind of soft, but you see like this dude really has a strategic mind. Like wow, that was smart.
And then now in the preview for next episode, she's like enough. Daenerys is enough playing these games. I think we're getting to the point where she's going to start using those dragons.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly not so surprised that the Lannisters were able to kind of take this turn because if you kind of look at the development of the characters over the series, I mean, Jaime's always been a brilliant military mind, and Cersei, and recognize this a lot more in the books if you read it, because Cersei makes a big deal out of it in her like POV chapters. But you know, Cersei's always said, and they even said, that guy from the Iron Bank even said it tonight. You know, like, you are your father's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she makes a big deal about that in the books, about how she's much more like Tywin than Jaime is.
Mm-hmm.
And you really see it in just how cunning and clever she is.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I honestly don't really think it was Jaime's idea to pull all those troops out of Casterly Rock and send them to Highgarden. I think that was her plan.
Yeah,
'Cause
he implied
if you
that.
think about it, like, you know, they talked about, you know, we're going to have, you know, talking to the guy from the Iron Bank, we're going to have your money. How are they going to get their money?
Yeah.
We're going to take the richest castle in the entire Seven Kingdoms, and we're going to just take their
They got their money and some. Yeah.
Right. So I guess to wrap up, we're going to grade the episode
Oh,
out of
one more
10.
thing. What about the mountain? How he kept staring at the sand snake chick?
Yeah, that was creepy.
What's that about? Like, it made me feel like they're working together or something. Was that?
I think
you're
it's
just
just a
reading
whole
into that.
drama play. I mean, like, think about it. Like,
It just seemed, I don't know. He seems like he doesn't really give people too much attention.
well,
it felt
he's
like
pretty much like, I don't think he's like the same person. He's just kind of like a
Shell of a
yeah,
person.
exactly. Like his,
No.
I don't think like mentally he's the same like Gregor.
Yeah.
Like he's not, because you think like Gregor before all that happened, like he was very sadistic, and now he's just kind of like, hey, you say go, and
Yeah, he just follows direction.
yeah, he
All
doesn't.
right, maybe I'm reading too much into it.
Yeah.
Maybe I am. I don't know
I think
why.
it was just.
I just think he's going to set her free. You know, I'm all about predictions. Man, hold on, we can't stop.
he
Then what about
could.
Sam? Then we got Sam. He's learning magic now. Like, what
All right,
about
well,
that?
hold on. Let's talk about the Sansei. So that whole plan, I think, is the dumbass plan by Cersei to keep her there. Because I just foresee this lady
Oh,
either
she's getting
out.
Yep,
I mean,
she's
somebody's
getting
going to free her, or the King's Landing's going to fall, and they're going to release her.
Yeah.
So that's just like, if you wanted somebody to die, just kill them.
I feel like her daughter is impervious to this poison. I feel like they can't be poisoned by this.
And why would they get so upset though?
I feel like that was an act.
Yeah,
I feel like that was an act.
No, that daughter's dying.
All right. I love making predictions. I'm claiming they're immune and they're busting out.
All right, well, last topic, we're going to talk about Sam. So
Sam!
He's finally learning
Yeah!
all this shit.
There we go. He's gonna start writing. He has to rewrite the scrolls. I told you guys he's gonna become a mage. Sam's on his way. Who thinks he's gonna become a mage now?
It seems like you have something there. I'm not going to say
I got one. What about you, Tom?
He's going to learn some serious cool shit.
I do think that you know, when that guy was like, you know, what you thought you were going to get a reward, like I think whatever's in those scrolls is the reward. Like that's going to be some kind of knowledge that he's looking for. I think you're taking a little bit too far. Like, he's not about to run around here throwing fireballs. But
Look, he's gonna do some type of magic. That's all I'm saying. It will be magic. It will not be, oh look, I learned how to make a sword, or oh look, I learned a potion. He is going to do magic. It is going to be magical, whatever he does. Call him.
we'll see.
All right, well,
You heard it here first.
Yep, Tamir had the mage theory before anyone. So let's talk about, we can rate the episode. So
right.
I guess out of 10, I'd give it an 8. I thought it was a really good episode. It flowed well. Like I said, the only thing I just maybe wish the dialogue from Jon Snow was a little better and more action scenes. What about you?
10. Had the Sith Lord, I was happy.
Okay, satisfied customer.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I'd probably give it a 9. I thought there was a lot of good drama in this episode. There were a lot of really, really good scenes with a lot of different characters. I thought it was a really good episode. The only thing that I would say is just kind of like they were very short on the battle scenes this time, which that's kind of one of the more fun parts of this show. So that was like the only disappointing thing for me.
Right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We're Pure Delusion. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Let's get 50,000 likes.
Can't we just go for 50?
Oh, yeah, 50. Okay.
Yeah, like, let's run it the fuck up. Let's get 50 likes. Comment below.
We've been watching a lot of the
Gang.
popular YouTubers out there, you know.
We got to make like
We've
a
been
symbol.
taking notes.
I made a hand signal for us so we can, throw a little sign. See, like here it is. Like, see, there's the P, and then that makes a D.
So 50 likes, 20 comments.
50 likes, 20 comments. Run it the fuck up. That's what they do.
Oh, okay.
And they go like, no.
Well, I'm not in the gang stuff. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.
Have a good one.